Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds. We do love you, Leeds, even if a little bit less tonight. So, yeah, poor performance by all accounts. I can't profess to say I watched the 90 minutes as I've had to work all day. My second Saturday I've had to work all bloody year. Get those pennies in for Christmas. So, yeah, I watched watch along with a bit of Joe, a bit of Only Leeds Bros. I've watched extended highlights. I've watched as much as I can. I've listened to a lot of people tell me how the game went, and I sort of get a gist of what it was. So I thought, what better way than to do a bit of a subscriber show, get you on. I know the chat's popping off everywhere and people in meltdown, Farke in, Farke out, usual stuff when we don't get a result. It is what it is. I think I feel a little bit better than most because I haven't watched the performance. And yeah, I said I was going to find out on YouTube tonight and watch it back. I'm sure I'll find out tonight. It's pretty much pointless. I'm sure Danny, Sean, and a few others hopefully will tell me to not waste 90 minutes of my life like rest of you have today. But we shall see. Yeah, so I'm going to get a few years in and we'll see how it goes. So yeah, we'll see how it goes because this is all new. I've got a new layout. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it right, but we shall see how it goes. I can get up to, I think, 5 people on screen at once. Any more than that, I'm going to go into meltdown. So bear with me. I'm new to all this techie stuff, but I'll do my best. But yeah, I'm going to bring a few years in now. Please smash a like if you enjoy my content. Subscribe if you haven't already, please. Much appreciated. Thank you very much. And without further ado, I'm going to try and bring in these two absolute legends. Danny, good evening, mate. Sean, good evening.
How's things?
Good evening.
Hello, lads. Please, just somebody tell me we're still going to get promoted, yeah?
Yeah, we'll get promoted. We're going to lose games anyway. I had a feeling about this game. I put it in Joe's chat a couple of weeks ago. The games I was worried about is Blackburn and Middlesbrough.
You did. I remember you saying that actually.
Sean?
Yeah. So I think it was I've always said we'll get promoted. It's just my words are for next year. My words have always been for next year.
You know what it is, mate, right? It's hard because I'm one of those people who'll come on and say the line that most people are saying, you can't win every game, but this away form is really, really a problem now. You know, why can we not replicate the home form away from home? What's the issue?
Do you know what I think it is, Matty? Right? If we've had three games in a week again. So there's 3 games in 6 days. The last time we had a bad game thing was against Bristol. That was the 3rd game in 6 days. And
True.
you know what I mean? So I'm thinking if we have 2 games a week, it might be all right. But having 3, I think it's just tiring the players out.
Did Blackburn not? Well, that only Blackburn's second game in this week. They have a game postponed or something.
Yeah, they were down at Portsmouth, weren't they?
It was,
Yeah, it's football failure.
When I say usually the side we faced have also 3, but yeah, I know they've only played 2 this week, which might have been a factor. Come on, Sean, let me hear about your Farke out. How are you feeling?
Excuses.
Yeah,
3 games in the week. Every other team's playing 3 games in the week.
I know.
It wasn't like that the last time.
Blackburn.
But what about the last game? The last time you were set against Bristol, was it? Well, what was that? Was that 3? Because they had 3 games in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the 3rd game, wasn't it? Like I say, for me, a few of the players today wasn't up to scratch. Farke looked like he'd been out for 6 months. Nonto wasn't that good today. Aronson needs a rest for me.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, it's I didn't think Nonto played well today. The thing that got me in bringing Bamford on before Joseph.
That's blown my mind. Say, I'm watching the follow on all the Leeds Bros, and when they said that were happening, all I thought, Danny, what are you?
Yeah, I actually genuinely thought you as well, Danny.
Did you see my comment? Did you see my comment in there, Matty? I went, "Where's Matty? I told you to play."
I
was like, Danny, Danny, now you've got you wanted.
By all accounts, so he didn't do well.
Neither did Joseph though when he came on.
No, well, I tell you what, are we going to see a bit of an attitude problem with Joseph?
Yeah,
does he look interested now? Does he feel? You think, right? That side now, he'll be chopping and changing, rotating, which we're seeing slightly now. with Joseph, really, he's the first one this season who he's actually been physically dropped. So he started as the first line.
Yeah.
He's then been swapped for Pirro, but now it's like today he's been demoted to third choice. I'm not saying it might not even be that big a deal in terms of Farke's eyes, but Joseph today will have definitely been sick knowing that happened. You know what I mean? Knowing that he was third choice today. I was sick on Joseph.
Look at that old croc coming down in front of me. That's what he's probably thinking.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just going to bring in Darren from all the Leeds Bros. He's coming to give me an answer tonight. We're not seeing games.
Yep.
So I'm just going to bring Darren in. 1 sec. If I can. There we go.
Come on, Ward.
Good evening, lads. Hey, what's happening?
Good evening,
Mate, before we even chat about Leeds, before we say it, background is absolutely immaculate. Loving the Imagine Not Being Leeds. Loving Ellen Road in the background. Fair play, buddy. Coming up in the world, and Imagine Not Being Leeds is.
I'm just trying to see if I can see Matt. He ain't stand, but I can't see him.
I'm right in nosebleed, right?
See the guy there with the big head in the corner. That's it.
I'll play behind him. So, Darren, come on, fill me in a bit more with today's performance. Come on, let me know.
Yeah, obviously it's straight after the game, straight over and just shows into match reaction. You're still trying to get your thoughts together, try and make sense of the whole thing, what happened today. Very carbon copy of Millwall, Bristol, West Brom, just really poor. First 20 minutes, you just knew. I think the lads will agree. You just knew Leeds didn't show up. For me, there's obviously a lot of Farke outs at the minute, which is obviously it's a little bit mental. We're third in the league, only 3 points off the top. I wouldn't be Daniel Farke out, but am I criticising him tonight? 110%. For me, he got the line-up wrong. For me, his tactical nous in the game was really poor when he swapped James, and Nanto destroyed the whole game because Nanto was especially getting a little bit of joy down that left-hand side, was starting to come inside and getting a few shots away. Granted, it was down the keeper's throat. As soon as he changed it up, lads, it went to shit. Nanto started when he went back out to the right-hand side. Nanto started coming in on top of Aronson. Then Dan James has no left foot. We all know that. As soon as he went out the left-hand side, he was naturally coming back in as well. So it was very sort of congested in that final third. No kind of real width, which was obviously what we pride Leeds on. No real width whatsoever. And to me, it totally destroyed the game. Then you're looking at a half-time and you're hoping Daniel Farke is going to make a couple of changes, hoping because we know he wasn't going to do it. He hadn't got the balls to do it for me, mate. And today he was crying out to be changed at half-time for me. He gave the boys who... To be honest with you, I'm going to be blunt, and this is probably the bluntest I've been about Leeds, who were piss poor in that first half. He gave them the opportunity to go back out there the second half to right them wrongs of the first half, and he gave them far too long. Yep.
It never works. It never works.
10 minutes.
Even in 10 minutes, as soon as it hit the 50th minute, and I was texting obviously me and Dylan were on the watch along, and you're trying to keep your emotions in check, especially when you're live on camera and that. So me and Dylan were obviously in the private chat, and I was saying he needs to change this here big time because it's gone to absolute shit here. And he didn't do it, lads. He didn't have the cojones to turn around and go, right, I got me line up wrong. Right, I've got me tactics wrong. I need to change it now. And that's what good managers do, and he didn't do it. It's like Daniel Farke is afraid to admit that he's wrong at times. He needed to change it, lads. He didn't. He waited far too late. He waited to the 70th minute to bring on Solomon, to bring on Ramazani, and then Matteo Joseph then just after that. It took them about 10 minutes to get into the game, and boy, the game was gone. It was far too late. Blackburn started to get control of the game then. Todd Cantwell could have dead and buried it for us as well. He had an opportunity. Firpo for me today was horrendous. I keep saying rusty as a nail in a pool of water. He was really poor today. His touch was off. I don't know about you lads. I was expecting a lot more from Firpo today. I thought, the 3 games rest, he would have came back in, with a point to prove. Very, very poor today. Firpo for me was definitely the old Firpo of the Premier League days. Very sort of lacklustre. And to be honest with you lads, I think we were lucky to get away with 1-0. It could have easily been 2 or 3. It could have been easy 2 or 3 to Blackburn today.
For me today, Firpo looked like a player that's already leaving.
Yeah,
I don't think
totally.
it's that. I think he's had the same problem with the last few years. Is when he's had his injuries, he's trying to get himself back into it. I genuinely think he's one of these players. That needs a couple of games to get himself back into the swing of things. And that's
it's stupid, Sean.
If that's the case, then why didn't he play? If that's the case, why didn't he play Woba to start with, and then bring Firpo on with a few minutes to go to get him a bit of match fitness instead of putting him straight in?
The blame wasn't like he was injured, lads. He got himself sent off by his old petulance, lads. He got himself sent off by his own petulance to put him out for 3 games. So he's put himself in this position. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's been taking all the fire and nothing. It's his own fault. So he's no one to blame but himself for his performance today. His suspension and his performance today, that solely lies with Junior Fairbow to me. Today he done absolutely nothing. Everything that was poor. Yeah. The one for Cantwell, when Cantwell's touch was too heavy, Fairbow nicked it off him, and then he tried to just dink the ball over, and Cantwell read it. Anyone can see it, and then Cantwell is in behind, and he just stood looking. He just like that turn. I'm watching Cantwell in behind. No kind of urgency to get back and try and right the wrongs that he done. But it's not just Fairbow. It's not digging out Fairbow. Across the whole pitch today, everyone was poor. El Tanaka's performance dropped. Look at he can't be up there every single week. Joe Rotwell was non-existent for me. The front three was poor. Brendan Aronson was poor. To me, it just looked like born out today from Aronson, lads, didn't it? He just he hadn't got any. His press wasn't even there either.
And I think that's down. I don't think that's down to fact to notice that during the week. It's down to fact during the week to notice them things. Not notice it. 100%. Have a chill match. The fans have been saying all week that it needs to, for the last couple of days that it needs not to be dropped, but to be rested.
It just needs a rotation, 100% agree.
Is it fair to say with Farke, he doesn't change tactics or personnel really to who they're playing? It's like he's got pre-made subs ready for 70th minute. A bit like, Bielsa had his faults with that as well, but he's already got them planned. And when it comes to the lineup and the tactics, I feel like it's just the same every game. He doesn't adapt to a different side. Today, obviously I've seen highlights and I've heard, I didn't watch the game for working, but I know the setup, I think, in a 4-2-3-1, but I think Cantwell drops and they packed out the midfield by the sound of it. We had the same problem.
Yeah.
Southampton last year. Why didn't we look at maybe taking Aronson off and looking at bringing a Gilavogi in to try?
That's exactly what I was going to say, mate. It was crying out for us to go 4-3-3 to just, for once in your life, Daniel Farke, just let Tanaka and Rotwell go. Put Gilavogi in the holding position, let him mop up. We have to go try and win points. And then your front three then are gone as well. Just let them do what they have to do. He didn't do it. He still had the shackles on. We were still playing very defensive, the two lads in the middle of the park. He didn't go for it. I didn't see Leeds, pushing forward, really wanting to win that game, really wanting to even nick a point from that game. We didn't go gung-ho whatsoever. So it lies with Daniel Farke. It lies with the players and it lies with Daniel Farke today for me. I'm definitely not Farke out, but you have to be critical of his managerial today.
I'm only critical of the away form at the minute. The home form is perfect. You can't say no more about anything else. It's the away form. And
13 points out, a possible 27 so far on the road, lads. That's not good, lads. That's really if we're going to get out of this division, he has to be looking at it.
Yeah,
I don't think Farke knows his proper his settled team yet. For me, I think he's back forward settled. Yeah. Midfield, I don't think he's knows what's happening with that, and then front four, I don't think he knows which is his settled.
At the minute, he has to go to Mac and Rotwell. That's all that's there, isn't it? But that front four, lads, it's like what Danny said. He doesn't know what is the best horse for the course, is what we keep saying. Like it's constantly just changing, and it looks like Pirro is his main man now. He has been starting him in a couple of games, and to me, Joseph is after basically playing his way out of the squad. The last 3 sub appearances today was probably the worst. Came on very, very lackluster from Mateo Joseph. Not really like someone who said, "Well, get back to me taking out his team. We need to get back into it." You've seen Dan James dropped. He had the bit between his teeth to come on and score a goal. Willie Nonzo, Manor, Solomon, they've all, when they've been dropped, they've came back in and saying, "I'm getting back into the squad." He didn't really look like that today. He's gone from being our starting number 9 striker, brilliant pre-season, brilliant start of the season, to then being second choice coming off the bench, and now to be behind Patrick Bamford. So he's gradually fallen down the pecking order, which is something that I'd say we all didn't foresee at the start of the season. And Danny was right. Danny's been calling it for weeks. It's gradually Patrick Bamford is pulling himself back up there. He came on again today, and we're at that position now where if Joe Pirro isn't doing it, we're looking towards Patrick Bamford. We're still have our eggs in this Patrick Bamford basket, and it's crazy. We're crying out for me a striker and a 10 in January. The club have to be looking at it.
Surely after today, that now becomes more prevalent than ever. Going back a few weeks, even last week, I were happy with Joseph and Pirro with Bamford as a third option. After today and after the last few performances we've seen Joseph now, I were losing him a little bit. He's young. We've seen petulance in younger players before. He's gone from being, the main man at Leeds to now being sat on bench while Bamford comes on. So are we in a position now where it's becoming, crucial that we go get a 9? And it'll probably be a loan, but before I sort of thought we'd be bringing one in just for bringing one in's sake. Now it could be the most vital position when it fills out. Because when Pirro's off it, lads, Piro's off it.
I think we were all on stream there a couple of weeks ago. I think Sean and Danny were in the chat as lads as well. I think it could have been the final point, but we definitely had a conversation about the January. Actually, it could have been the last subscriber show, and Danny brought up how many do you think we'll get in January? And I said it at the time that Leeds can't sit on their hands. We just can't. It's still a good bit away from the January when we don't know what's going to happen. And I was kind of saying we need to see when the window opens what way it lies then, whether we have suspensions, injuries, people out of form, people not up to it. We need to kind of see then. I think today was probably the first time, and I said it to Matty off air. Today was the first game where I really missed Jorginho Rutter today, lads. The whole game I was just like, I'd love someone like Rutter to just pick up the ball, get in between the lines and just run at defenders. We don't have it. Leeds can't sit in the hands in January. We can't make that mistake. We can't be looking back again in January and saying, why didn't we do this in January? We need to do it.
I don't think.
I actually thought Perot well in the first half, actually.
Yeah,
I thought he did all right. So he's not. I don't think he's particularly out of form.
Second half, he was kind of non-existent though, Sean, wasn't he? He was again dropping very deep. Yeah, he had to. That's what I was saying to Mikey. He was like he wasn't getting the service, so he was getting frustrated. He was gradually coming back again, tightening up the whole back. There was one stage I seen him out on the right wing whipping a ball into the box. I'm like, what are you doing out there, Joe Pero? You're gonna get up top. You're the man. It's meant to be.
He's trying to get the ball because no one's giving the ball.
Exactly, he had to drop deep. But again, that's Daniel Farke the clock that to say, stay up top. You're coming back in, congesting everything. It was just, it seemed very all over the place there, lads. With no sort of organisation.
Without service, lads,
Piro's has to look for the ball. He has to look for the ball. If the ball's not coming to him, you're naturally going to go looking for the ball to try to make something happen. Doesn't matter what Farke says.
Just a quick in here
for me.
Let me just read this
for me.
Right quick.
Yeah, go on.
Could it be, I assume this is the Bamford. Could it be a sign of weakness by Farke by trying to keep all the forward line happy? Your thoughts, guys? So on that, is it a case of he's losing faith in Joseph and he needs to show Bamford a little something to get him on side because he's probably lost Bamford to a degree? Is it a case of Paddy, the cogs are going in Farke's mind of I aren't getting out from Joseph? You could probably see he's maybe a bit disinterested. As it today, thrown Paddy a bone and been like, you're still in my thoughts, come on, trying to get him going again, which then might spike Joseph to start going again, and maybe it's a knock-on effect like that. But if Bamford's come on and hasn't shown up today, has it really had that effect? I don't know. What you thought?
Let him just go on his podcast and have a whinge then. He shouldn't be anywhere near the squad. No. Let him go on his podcast and have a whinge if he wants.
For me,
just get rid of him in January.
I know.
Yeah.
For me, I don't think we get a strike. I don't think we get a striker in January. I think we need a competent number 10 that can thread the ball through.
Yeah.
We're crying out there.
I think
a number 10, I'd like a number 9, but a number 10 is imperative, lads, over anything. We can't persist with Brendan Aronson for the whole season. And I know we're saying, well, Nanto can do a job there. I'd like to see Nanto there. I'd like to see someone there. We all would. But that's not their natural position. We need a natural 10. And we keep saying that they're probably the most expensive in the game. It's not going out and spend 30 million and try and bring them in. But surely me and Mikey had a talk as well. Louis Barty that's after being recalled from Aston Villa talks about him being loaned out to a championship side. Just fucking go get him, Leeds. Just go get him. James McEntee, just go get them. Just go get them and get out of this division now and worry about the finances then. Like, just do the thing that we're all crying out for. And in fairness to the 49ers, they usually do since they've came in. They've gone and done the thing we've all asked to do. We can't sit in our hands in January, lads. And today proves I don't want us. If we even go and beat Derby and we beat Middlesbrough and we beat Preston and go, do you know what? Actually, we're fine. No, we're not, because of the turn of the year then. Because Diddy's up. We still need a number 10 in there, creative number 10. Aronson will do a job in there for a certain degree, but he's not creative, lads, and we can't rely on him till the end of the season to May.
I think in an open game where we're not having to deal with a low block, I think Aronson's a better player. When it comes to the low block, we need a proper number 10 that can thread the ball through either needle for somebody running onto it.
Yeah,
the talk of resting Aronson. I would have put Gunavogi actually in midfield and maybe try Tanaka. Maybe try Tanaka as number 10. Because he can pass the ball.
That's what we're saying, Sean. Yeah, if you had to put Gilavogi, if you had the balls to go 4-3-3, put Gilavogi in defensive, because we're trying to chase the game here. Let Tanaka and Rotwell go. Like, we know Rotwell can get forward. We know Tanaka can get forward. We can see it in his game. So just let the two of them off the leash. Let them go, see if they can do something. Then you still have your front three, whether he was going to bring Bamford on anyway. But you could have had Pirro, Ramazani, Nanto, James. That was a lot of force going forward. But he just kept the reins on them, and he just kept the same sort of tactical layout. And it just, he needs to change it up, lads, especially for away. Ellen Road is fine. It's working at home. Don't change that at Ellen Road. We're hard to beat. 100% keep it the way it is. Going away from home, lads, it has to change because it's just carbon copy every single game. It doesn't matter who the opposition is. It's just looking the exact same, isn't it?
They're going to need that. The odd time, just change it up, try something different. Because I think what teams are going to do, they're going to figure it out. And they're going to, like last year, they're going to figure us out, and they're going to be up you know what, again. You know what I mean? They'll figure it out. They'll figure this out already, yeah. And that's the problem.
You see, when you're at home, you can play 4-2-3-1. When you're away, you should be changing your formation to whatever, you know what I mean? Even if you're playing even if you're playing a 3-5-2 or a 5-3-2, you know what I mean? You need to change it up.
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
what's your thoughts, Matty? You're just sitting there watching the three of us ramble on. Like, I know you didn't see the game today. Yeah. Like, it was, to me, lads, I don't know what Sean and Danny's, it was very much carbon copy of Bristol, wasn't it? It was the same sort of kind of lackluster, lacked ideas, final ball was poor, no one did themselves justice. It was literally carbon copy of Millwall, Bristol, the exact same. If you put the two games side by side, results or whatever, Millwall was probably the most like for like game. They just done us. They went out, they had their game plan, and we can't break down that low block, lads, whatsoever. Can we? As soon as they went 1-0 up and got the penalty, we knew it was going to be such a hard game to get back into, because they were naturally just going to sit back in, weren't they?
Yeah. When they got a penalty, that wasn't even a penalty.
Yeah, I thought it was.
It was a penalty.
He
came flying in, though. He came flying in, and once you go flying in like that, it's giving that ref the opportunity to make that decision. The rest of you seen him going flying in on it.
It was like bum cheek to bum cheek, wasn't it? And your man Dolan makes the most of it. He knew he can see him coming. As soon as he gets the touch, he's gone down. Look, it's clever play from Dolan. Tanaka, probably a little bit rash, but it wasn't a clear cut. I thought it was soft.
I think when you're running at that much pace, you're gonna have that extra bit of momentum in you, and that's probably what could have swayed the ref then, because he was flying at.
I mean, for me, lads, I think it was.
Desperate.
I think it was a penalty. You can argue it was soft, but I'd say looking at it at full speed, for me, it's a penalty. He's gone in. For me, it really was. But,
it was. They're giving nowadays. I don't like seeing them being given. Do you know what I mean? Of course, the striker's gonna go down. Once you get a toucher in the box, you're going down 100%. Yeah, it's a little bit naive from Tanaka, but it was generally soft. I think for me it was a soft penalty to give away. It's stupid from Tanaka. It should have really just jockeyed his man, try and force him out. There was no need to go flying in there. No. But there's one that I want to touch on. I just want to get your thoughts, because I've watched the back now a couple of times. The Dolan tackle on Fairpo, lads, to me it's a stonewall red card. Stonewall. If that's in the Premier League, that goes to VAR, and it's if it's slowed down and makes it look worse. No, he's off the ground. There's 1 foot in the air. He's knee height, whether it's 2 foot or 1 foot. He's knee height going in. Yeah, he's trying to whip the ball around, but he's knee height. If he catches Fairpo, it's probably a career-ending one, lads.
Yeah.
And you can see the referee took a couple of minutes. To me, Stonewall. Now look at it, whether it had any bearing on the game, probably not. But to me, it's a Stonewall red card.
Probably.
It happened with Cooper, didn't it, at Man City?
It's similar. Yeah, actually similar tackle. Yeah. True. Yeah. True. Yeah.
I still don't think that was ever a penalty. I don't think that was ever a free kick. I still don't, to this day. I still don't think that was a free kick. I still think you got half that ball. At least half of it.
It's one of them today, lads. It's a game where conceding first goal is massive. I mean, Darren, you touched on it. It's one of those games where if you concede, there's every chance it'll end up a 1-0. Because they're really good at defending. But when you look at, we go through it all the time, the quality, the run we're on, the confidence they've got. I aren't gonna blame anyone for potentially with a penalty that were suspect. We should have been in the game. We should have played better than what we did. And obviously, it's accumulation of the players. Farke, I can't leave all of it blame at Farke's door, because these lads are paid a lot of money to play for greatest club in the world in my eyes. And when you're getting outfought, which is what I've heard and what I've seen, the bits I've seen today, and not winning second balls and not looking like you've got that desire to win anything in terms of all the key areas of the pitch. That's the thing as a Leeds fan that really pisses you off. And that for me is the players. I mean, don't get me wrong, the subs, the tactics, a lot of this is the worst I've felt today about Farke. And I like Farke, but he's not he can't not get criticised. So yeah, a lot of it is I've got to leave a lot at his door, but don't let the players get away with it. For me, that's a game away at Blackburn, 7,000 fans going. They need to show more for me, and the players should be giving fans, an apology for that performance because they didn't have to go too far. It's not a Plymouth, but it's still a lot of money, a lot of effort. They travel around country, and for me, when you don't give the basics, which is just your all, then you fucking let us down, really, aren't you?
It doesn't matter, mate. It doesn't matter if it was in Fullerton Park. Do you know what I mean? Or they're playing out in the car park. You're still playing for Leeds United, and you still should be given 110% for that travelling support. To me, they just never got going. They lacked desire. The whole game was just lackluster. No one was at it, and before the international break against Bristol City, we got caught out as well. That tour game in 6 days, we got caught out, and this is my worry now. Is next week that Preston game as well. I'd be very, very interested to see how we form it out. Obviously, we've Middlesbrough in between. That's going to be a tough game. But I'm really looking at this Preston game. If we get caught out on that tour game in 6 days again, well, Farke really needs to be looking at it and really rotating the squad going, well, look, we keep getting caught in that tour game when it's squashed into the week. So it's something that we have to look at because it's just being a carbon copy over and over again. If we can get the away form right, lads, there's nothing to say that we don't get out of this division, but Farke needs to change it up, lads. He can't keep sticking to this plan A and not deviating from it. He has to change up formation, has to change up personnel, and sometimes just admit defeat. All the best coaches in the world do. Guardiola does it. He turns around and says, I got my selection wrong today. And Farke just never does it. You never see him in post-match holding his hands up and going, it was on me today. So we were a little bit this, a little bit that. We didn't take our chances. Hold on a second. A blind person can see you got the selection wrong today. John, your in-game management was poor because you swapped two wingers and it completely closed down the game. We completely lost any sort of threat in the game then whatsoever. And then you failed to change it at half-time. And then you didn't change it till the 70th minute. So... yeah, it's like what the Zoyer is saying there. He won't change, but he has to, lads. He has to.
If he doesn't change, you change him. If he's not changing, and it's costing us matches, and we end up in the playoffs again, who's that down to? That's down to him. And that's down to the 49ers. He's not pushing the button on it either.
This is what I want to see, lads, what Andy Rose says here. I want to see, I know everyone's saying what Aronson does for team, but I just want to see how we play without Aronson.
Just give it a bash.
I want to give it a go and see how it goes. Yeah,
45 minutes.
Why not? Like I know we haven't got an out 10. If you take Aronson out of it,
Derby, to me, Derby's the game to try it, lad. You're at home. You're at Ellen Road. Definitely don't try it away from home. Definitely don't. And today, I think Aronson had to start because we didn't try it without. We've got Oxford at 21st.
So why?
So what? 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Saturday 3 weeks.
I was thinking maybe Oxford.
I'd go with Derby. I'd try it at Derby. Lads, we still should have more than enough in that squad to be beating Derby without Brendan Aronson. If you're saying, if we're actually realistically saying now that we can't take Brendan Aronson out of the side to beat Derby County, well then something's seriously wrong, lads. We should be able to take Brendan Aronson out of the side and put a Solomon and put a James or a Nanto or the kitchen lady in there. If we don't beat, we have to be beating Derby County for me, lads. So try it against Derby, see how it goes, because you can't keep burning out Brendan Aronson like this. You can't expect him to be doing the run about and to play that number 10 position for the whole season. We need another option.
Yeah, true, Don. How much do you agree with this point from Mark Sutherland? I think the lads at the wall today, a lot of have been away on international duty, travelling back, etc., playing Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, plus training. Do you go along with that, or do you think suck it up and play, lads? How do you feel about the tiredness?
That's something that I've been big up. Yeah, not suck it up, but go ahead, John.
Not suck it up, but it's down to the fact to then pick the players that are fit enough to play. Like you can clearly see from the first few minutes that Aronson was absolutely jaded already. He wasn't fit enough. Yeah, he wasn't fit enough.
Well, he's the one that never gets rotated, Sean, isn't he? Aronson's the one that never rotates. He's always in.
Me and Dylan said it. We said it on the final point, lads. Me and Dylan, we turned around and said it. We need to rotate him because he's going to hit a wall. And there's time, and you could see it today in his game, lads. It just his press, right? He doesn't give you the quality on the ball, but the press is what we pride Brendan Aronson on wasn't there today either. So then, what else does he give you? If he's not giving you the quality, he's not giving you the press, he's giving you nothing. So he needs to rotate up. There is going to be games where we need Brendan Aronson, granted 100%, but you can't play him over a 46 game season and have nothing else in there. There needs to be an option. If we're not going to go get number 10, well, Farke now needs to try and experiment. Who is my step in number 10? Is it Ramazani? Is it going to be Solomon? Is it going to be Tanaka? Whoever it's going to be. Maybe he does have something up his sleeve when Ampadu comes back in to say, I'm going to go a 4-3-3. I'd highly doubt it and probably play Tanaka up in the 10. Okay, like, who knows? I can't see Farke deviating. I can't see him, he's one of them that prides himself on his principles, build from the back, risk averse and stuff like that. But he needs to start changing, lads, because if he keeps continuing the way it is going, and especially like the next week for me, lads, is massive. Like, it's massive. It really is, and it probably will have a bearing. Like, if we don't at least pick up 6 points, I mean, you're gonna have a massive portion of the fan base calling for Daniel Farke.
But also, the other thing is, we're he did it with Norwich. We ain't Norwich. You could arguably say we're a bigger club than Norwich, and so there's going to be a lot more pressure from the fan base on him.
Oh yeah, he's got massive.
Than Norwich.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
Pressure. Yeah.
So he's seeing now what he's really like under pressure. And he starts blaming he starts blaming the ref, starts blaming this, starts blaming that. He had the same stuff last year, and he's still not taking ownership of stuff that's down to him.
What about the offside today? Was it offside? For me, it wasn't.
I think he was borderline. Danny,
It's
gone everywhere looking for it. I'd say it's one of them. If it's VAR, it probably is just about offside. Not, it's one of them ones you don't like seeing given. Do you know what I mean? He is offside, but you want the benefit of the doubt with the striker. It's one of them that again. It's always Bamford. It's always Bamford on the end of them lads, isn't it? He's always on them borderline offside, isn't he?
It reminds you it's exactly like that Crystal Palace one. With his hand when he's off by his fingertip or whatever it was. That's how close it was, Danny. It's hard to know. It's hard to know.
Lord, I'm not too sure on this comment with Crew. I think you're right with maybe pushing Tanaka off Rothwell further forward. Either of them two for me could probably play in 10, but I think it'd be Gilavogi we'd probably bring in rather than Crew. But
I think Gilavogi.
That's the only rotation he's really got in midfield. Is Crew and Gilavogi, but maybe it's
Crew maybe, but he's
I mean, we've got a week now till we'd play again, but maybe this was the game to maybe bring Gilavogi in. Or maybe next game, I'm not sure. But I feel like Aronson and the two midfielders, because there's not much competition, there's no rotation there. And maybe today, with Tanaka and Rothwell, what it a fitness thing, they played a lot of minutes, or what it just the way Blackburn played meant our midfield couldn't get going today. What will you crack with that, lads?
Yeah, the Swansons in midfield, ones, you know what I mean? There were, every time Tanaka got ball, there were 2 or 3 players around him. He couldn't do anything, which I think... Aronson's game, you know what I mean? With Tanaka not being able to get the ball spread out and everything else, so
maybe.
But
maybe
what
they never really engaged in the press. It was very much build up through strike and road on. They kind of waited until we got into our half. They were marking Rothwell and Tanaka really well, so they had to drop deep as well. So every time Rothwell and Tanaka were picking up the ball was nearly on our halfway line with strike and road on right up their arses. So you had this just bundle in the middle of the park, and it was kind of hard for Leeds to kind of break through that line. So you ultimately had 11 of Blackburn's men behind the ball, and they couldn't get out. And then you had our centre halves and our 2 centre midfielders stuck together as well. So it was all very congested when the ball did progress, and we'd nothing to try and go out wide when it did progress further forward. Then you had that situation of James, Nonto and Aronson all stuck down that channel. Yeah. Basically like Jesse Marsh ball. Like it was just everything was down the middle. We didn't really get much width. We tried with Fairpo a bit, but we obviously touched on his performance wasn't great. To me, Bogle, you know what? I actually don't think Bogle did too bad, lads. One silly when he picked up the yellow card was a bit.
No.
It was a bit silly from that. You know, he kind of, it was like his concentration. He obviously let the ball slip away from him, and then he picks up a silly yellow card as well. So it was just one of them days where I blamed them all. I blamed the players. I blamed Farke. It was just one of them days where it was just horrendous. No one gets away with the blame today for me.
Let me just say that before you jump in the chat, there's space for one more person to jump on with us 4. So the links, I put the link in the chat so you can jump on if anyone wants to come on have a chat and put their thoughts forward. Just want to say, lads, as well, stick a like on as well, thank you. You look at the away form, which is obviously that's my biggest worry. And we haven't even gone to Turfmoor yet. We haven't been to Riverside. We haven't been to Bramall Lane. There's some massive away fixtures to come. We need to get our ducks in a line before we go to these big boys. Because if we can't, we had it the same last season, Preston, QPRs, that away form, and I don't know what it is with Farke, because I told you before, I don't think we'll lose many points at Ellen Road. I don't think we'll lose at Ellen Road the rest of the season. It's like a given now at Ellen Road that you go to a game and you think we'll get 3 points. Away from home, I don't know what it is.
Is that a game against Middlesbrough at home or away?
It's at home the next
I don't know. Yeah, it's at home. The
next
two.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
But lads, after this last loss today, that's put the Middlesbrough game as a 3 point. We need to get 3 points now. And before you looked at us run a
6 point,
that might be the one you drop points in. Now after today, we've got to go get 9 points from Derby, Middlesbrough, and Preston for me. I ain't got a choice.
Yeah, I think we get beat. I think we get beat by Middlesbrough and get beat well.
Yeah.
Oh, not
I
again.
think at Ellen Road. I don't think it'll happen at Ellen Road. I know that happened in the Cup.
Meltdown.
I don't see us getting pumped at Ellen Road, and I know it happened in Cup, Danny. But on today's performance, my confidence is wearing thin on how you say it. To be fair, anything you say, Danny, could be right after that, because I didn't see that coming today. I really didn't.
And I'll tell you who'll score the winning goal as well, Luke Ayling.
No, don't say that. He'd be sent to the chat for the last couple of days. No.
If Luke Ayling scores the winner and does the slide, takes the hair out and does the guitar, I'll have a conniption, lads.
Lump him.
There's a lot of.
I get the first flight out from Dublin. I get the first flight out to Dublin to Leeds, Bradford, and Blackburn.
There's a lot of comments in chat about Tanaka in 10. A lot of people are fancying Tanaka in 10. I mean, it's not going to happen yet while Lampard and Gruever out, is it?
No,
we called it, Matty, didn't we? We called it a few weeks ago.
We did, mate. We really did.
Yeah,
we did actually. That's not going to happen.
I'd even give Rothwell a go in 10.
Yeah, just
I don't think he's mobile enough.
Yeah.
I think Tanaka's a bit more mobile to do it.
Yeah, but Pablo
could do a job in it.
Pablo wasn't mobile enough. Pablo wasn't mobile enough. He just stood there and knew what he was doing.
He could not make a mermaid. Even with his legs closed. He's unbelievable. He's different. He's a magician.
You know what it is, Mark. You know what it is, Mark. Like, I'm a massive Farke, and I'm a bit of a happy clapper, as these lads know. I'm pleased, like rain or shine. It doesn't bother me. I'm a Leeds fan and I love it. And I don't ever see a position this season where we don't go up, so I'm fairly confident. But this is the worst I felt today this season in terms of that away form. I don't think we can win the league. I don't think we can go up just based on home form. There needs to be somewhere in middle when it comes to that away form. We can't just rely on a 3-4 win at Swansea and then lose and draw your next couple. We need to be picking up, especially against these. I know they're 8th and I know they've had a good run so far. They might make playoffs if they win the game in hand, but we can't be going to Blackburn. We can't be going to Millwall and losing. You pick up West Brom, Sunderland. I don't mind them. Their games you probably look at, it's a good point. But these games, we're hitting some games here. We're in a good run now. We're hitting some away games here that we can't afford to drop them. That's my worry, Mark. Like I say, I aren't massively down about it, but it's a concern now in my mind. So, and I'll be honest with you, Mark, when you look at the chats, and these lads will tell you chats on other YouTube channels and on social media, like Farke out, it comes in full force, especially after a performance like this. It's quite daunting sometimes how dark it can get, and he can't afford now to not beat Derby, not beat Middlesbrough, not beat Preston for me. Like one more poor result out of those 3, and his head will be on a stick for some people if it's not already, lads.
Yeah, agree.
For me, I missed what you said. Can you repeat what you said?
Do you think today, lads? Do you think that was the poorest one of the season? For me, this is probably the worst I felt. I remember feeling bad after Burnley, but I remember still being like, it's early doors. You know what I mean? It was a slip. You know what I mean? Not too bad. Do you feel like that was the worst one today?
No, I think Bristol were worse.
Borough felt worse for me. I think it was the whole thing about Reuter going well. I think that's
I know. Like in league, probably. Definitely that cup game, was the worst. But I think like league was Bristol was poor for me, but it was kind of like, look, at least we got something from the game. Do you know what I mean? We came away with at least a point. Today, I don't know. This is probably the worst I've felt all season. It's not. I'm not here going, burn it all down and scrap it all out and get rid of Farke. Like, I'm not, but he does need to change because the away form somehow has crept up on us to be really bad. It just seems like it came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And Farke, he has to change. Yeah, go ahead then.
What gets me though is people, we're going to do this. They played crap against this team. They played crap against that team. We should be beating them 3-4-0. We've got no given right to be beating anybody. We've got to earn it.
Yeah,
We've got the best squad in the
You
league.
know what I mean?
We've got the
Well,
best squad in the league.
it's worrying the losses that we
aim.
have are all the carbon copy of each other. They're all the same. We're all losing the same way. It's not like we're getting outplayed by a team, Bar Middlesbrough in the cup, where you turn around and go, we're being played off the park today. It's all the same losses. They're a carbon copy of each other, and that's what the frustrating thing is that we're losing the same way. Surely Farke has to change.
But with this all, we've got the best.
Go on.
Yeah, but with this all, we've got the best team in the league.
I'm on telly with Sean.
We've got all the best team in the league and stuff like that.
I know.
For me, all we've got the best team in the league and stuff like that. Yeah, we have, but they've got to turn up.
That's down to the fact that my manager's done to make sure they're up for it.
Let's bring in.
Yeah, but it's also up to the players as well, Sean.
Let's bring in Lord Sheargorath. Is that how you say it, mate?
Yes, mate. Yes, I'm dying on misery at the moment, mate.
Thanks so much for coming on, Paul. Really appreciate it. How are you feeling at the minute, mate? Are you a Farke in? Are you a Farke out? How do you feel after today, buddy?
Farke's fine. You know, we're going to lose games. You know, start of the season, people are saying we go up with 90 points, the 90-point trophy thing. So that means this season, even our own team is expecting us to drop 48 points. So when we lose a game, well, people are sort of melting down. You know, we're expecting ourselves to lose 48 points, aren't we?
Yeah, we are, mate.
Yeah.
So we don't start crying and melting down and wanting to shoot Farke and shoot down to do for it.
What do you think, mate, on this away form? Like you say, like Darren says, it's creeped in out of nowhere. We had a couple of draws.
We've drawn too many. We've just drawn too many. We've only lost 2 away games, haven't we? It's not a massive disaster. We just that clinicality in front of goal. That's what we're like. 100%. If Peru's not getting the service, he's not scoring the goals.
No. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. 100%.
And if Bamford's getting the service, that service should be attacked.
Some crosses. Some crosses went into some crosses went into box today, and Peru was stood outside box. He's a striker away in the box.
Yeah, especially the second half. He wasn't staying in the box.
Comes in from the edge.
He's trying to make things happen. He
doesn't go line.
He's trying to make things happen.
Late into the box to finish the game.
Trying to make things happen.
I tell you what, it's hard with 5 people. It's like a zoo. It's like my house. Now, what do you think, Lord, in terms of January? Do you think we've got the answers for the striking position at the club at the minute, or do you think it has to be sorted out in January, pal?
Well, the thing is, with Matteo and Pirro, we've got 2 strikers who I wish we could put together, because then put them together, we've got the perfect striker. But
100%.
One has the movement and hold attributes, and Pirro's got the finishing attributes, you know.
Yeah.
So we either go another number 10, or even Luna number 10. I'd go more towards the Luna side.
I would.
Just to see the season out. Luna number 10. And get him to suit the system that we need for Pirro or Joseph, you know.
Yeah, what do you think to that, Darren?
Yeah, I'm definitely, look what I said, I'm not burning it all down. Lads, Leicester lost 11 games last season, and they still won this division by 7 points. They lost 11 games last season, lads. We lost 10. Like, we are going to lose more games, and this is what I even said on Just Joe's show. Like, spoiler alert, lads, we are going to lose more games this season, and we probably will lose them the same way. But it doesn't mean we burn it all down. It's like what Lord said. We mightn't even get anywhere near 90 points, and it probably will see us up out of this division. So you have to keep perspective in check. Was today great? No, definitely not. But do we throw everything out and say, right, sack Daniel Farke because he's lost a game today? No, 100% not, because the probability of Daniel Farke getting out of this league, it's going in the right direction that we are going to get out of this division. For me, we will get out of this division. So we just need to sometimes take these losses on the chin. We have to be learning from them, though. That's the main thing for me, and it's what I keep saying, is that it's the way that we're losing games. We're losing them the exact same way.
Yeah.
The low block, we come out, we look lackluster. It's the third game in the 6 day space that we lose. that's what's become the same for me. It's like a carbon copy. It's copying itself, and like that, Farke has to be looking at and going, right, look, it's happening the same time now. It's not like we're losing to a team that, you know, are playing really good football, intricate football, and they say, right, they played us off the park today, they deserved it. It is that low block, and we're finding it really hard at times to break that down and win games and even pick up points. It's like what Lord said, yeah, we've drawn a few. It's not the worst. We've only lost 2 away from home, but it just feels like that away form. Every time we go away, it's creeping in that we're not too confident. It doesn't even matter who we're playing, lads. That's where it's kind of getting to. So, yeah, I'm definitely not burning it all down. We are going to lose more games, but it's just getting a little concern at the minute, the away form.
100%. Anything you want to add, Sean? Now because I think you're the only Farke out on this panel.
Would you get rid of him, really, Sean? I know we're kind of saying Farke, but would you really?
The only bloody more he's in.
Would you pull the plug on him right now?
Right now, Sean. If you were part of the Leeds board and you were given the decision right now to pull the carpet on the Farke, would you do it? Really though?
Not. I've said it to if people listen. I was saying that should be next season.
Right, okay.
That should be next season.
You
I think get us up. I think
in fairness to Sean, he does often say Premier League.
I think he gets up.
Yeah, but
and I think we all probably agree with that, lads. It's just not a conversation. I think we should be getting it into yet. Like, no. I think we all agree. We all look at it. He probably isn't going to do it in the Premier League, but we just have to see. We just have to see how it goes.
We can't say he's not going to do it in the Premier League. Sean's going by what he did at Norwich. He got £5 million to spend over 2 seasons at Norwich, and didn't get no players in. You can't go by what he did at Norwich.
Yeah. You know what I think it is, lads. I think you've got to give someone a chance who gets you up, right? And I know there's no sentiment in business, no sentiment in football, but for me, you've got to give him the go if he gets up. Morally, he gets a go, right? But because we're Leeds United, we don't think it's good enough, but it's good enough for Leeds United to consolidate next season. Maybe not for Leeds United fans who want us to do a Villa and get up to Europe like that, right? For Leeds United next season, when we go up, if we go up, to consolidate in 14, 15, 16th is fine. It's after that for me, Sean. So I think he's good. And he'll have deserved a year and a crack at it, and then we'll see. Then and we'll decide. But I think it's beyond. I think you're talking a couple of years down the line for me, not next year. I think that's fair.
I was doing for somebody to say what he has that that makes them think that he will do well in the Premier League. What has he got?
I don't think we'll be as open in Premier League, lads. With where he plays.
We'll be more. We're going to need to be more defensive anyway, so it don't make a difference. We're not going to win we'll be lucky if we win 5 games in Premiership.
That sounds dreadful, that, Sean.
What you've got to look at next season, you're probably looking at 5, 6, or even 7 new players will be in definitely.
Yeah,
that's that whole point, lads, isn't it?
Won't survive in the Premier League.
Yeah, it's the whole point for me. We definitely need another centre half. I think Strike could definitely make the step up. Joe wrote on, I'm not too sure, but we definitely need another centre half. We definitely need another midfielder. Tanaka, I think, is ready made. Definitely need a number 10, and we definitely need a striker. So you're talking right across that spine. We definitely need some. Fairpo looks like he's on his way out. So you're talking about a left full. Bogle is doing okay, but we've seen him in the Premier League last season. That remains to be seen. Can he step up again? Can he actually do it? So you're probably talking 3, and we've said it, Danny, as well, is that you're probably talking only Strike, Tanaka, and maybe Ramazani, the only 3 that I could probably off the top of my head say that could actually take that step up in the Premier League. The rest, there's probably massive question marks over him. Even Ampadu as well, there's question marks over him. Can he make the step up? Look, he might, but it remains to be seen. But I think when we go to the Premier League, there has to be a massive overhaul of this side.
I'll tell you one thing.
Remember last time there's no overhaul last season. And it took him 2 months to get the team down. You won't get that time in the Premier League.
That's
it. My worry is that we go and back him, and we have another Jesse Marsh issue.
I think the way he plays,
we've put all the money in towards getting them.
I think the way he plays, Sean, defensively. I know he's playing against better players. I think defensively, I'm not saying we'll be sound, but I feel like the shape and the way he plays will be okay. We're not going to be as open, as I say. But if we're having problems now in terms of how clinical we are going forward, and we're struggling now and having conversation, that's a position that definitely needs to be done in Premier League. Because when we're up there, I know we're talking, we're jumping a year ahead now. Like, I think we've got enough up there this season to get up. I think the attacking players, the wingers will chip in with enough. I think if we didn't sign anyone in January, we're still going to be somewhere near this year, right? I'm not saying that should be the case. When we go to the Premier League, that striking position, that 10 position is essential. That's why I'm not sure in January to go all out for someone. Yes, he may go for a loan, but I don't think they're going to go for anyone of any real quality, because they're not going to gamble on them being able to step up to the Premier League. So hopefully in January, we tap into loan market, get someone who maybe is just there for 5 or 6 months, and then when we go up, I want them to go out there and spend some, and I know you don't have to spend big. We've seen that with Tanaka, but I really want him to go out and make a statement 9, like we did before. But that was Rodrigo. It was a statement 9 in terms of money spent. We didn't get no from that. They could have gone out and bought an actual player. We knew someone who we knew would make that step up to Premier League. That's what I want them to do this time because it's needed. And like I say, I think defensively we're going to struggle to a degree because of the quality we're going to face at Premier League. But for me, it's that cutting edge up front that will. At minute we fluff in 2 or 3 big chances. If and when we go up, we might only get one. We might only get one.
Not clinical enough. You're not clinical enough in the Championship. You're not in the Premier League.
The player that we have, Pro, I think he's going to do very well next season.
No, I don't.
Take that one chance. Take that one chance. Take that one chance.
Nah, I think bench player, be Sean. Bench player.
Yeah. I think bench player as well. Yeah.
For me,
they could do worse than go for a loan. Say Carvalho from Brentford just got in contact with Carvalho's dad. He wants about Brentford himself.
He does, mate. Yeah, that'd be a brilliant signing.
That'd be a carrot. See if it takes it.
Yeah,
I wonder if we could give these players the option that if they do well enough, that you can sign them up if you get promoted.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, but that depends up to the parent club. That's up to the parent club as well, though, Sean. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
If they don't want to let them go.
Of course,
but for me,
if unhappiness there, isn't there?
If we're in Premiership, I'd go for somebody like a Tammy Abrahams that were at Villa that's played there. Is it Roma? You know what I mean? A striker.
I'd love an Evan Ferguson. I think Sean knows him well, but I would love an Evan Ferguson. He's definitely an up-and-coming striker.
We're not going to sign him down this year.
Yeah, I know. They won't get him this year. There's a lot of word thrown about. Does he come in January and on? Evan Ferguson's not dropping down to the Championship in January. No. 100% not. He'd be the one, though. I'd look at someone like him. His ceiling is there, strong, physical striker, always puts in a shift. He'd be loved, that Leeds United player like him and can finish as well. Probably will cost a few bob, though. You're probably talking about 35 up anyway for somewhere like him. Would that be someone you'd kind of say with an Evan Ferguson? Would he tickle your fancy?
Yeah, potentially, mate. He's done it a little bit in the Premier League. Obviously, he hasn't been around for too long, so that experience maybe isn't there. But I think that's where Leeds are going to look at. They're going to look for young, up and coming players, who they believe can do it. And he's had games in Premier League as Evan Ferguson, mate, where he's looked like the next big thing. So it's just not quite happening at Brighton. If and when we go up this year, if he hasn't got back in that team and made some, hit some form, then he'd be someone I'd definitely be dangling that carrot to, try to see what you can get him on 100%. And Leeds United, why would you not come to Leeds United? If you're a talented, young Premier League player.
Somebody like a Chris Wood as well.
Nah, I don't know. Yeah, well, I don't know if he'd come though. Let me just read this out.
Take Chris Wood now.
What do you make of this, lad? So, Caesars TV, I follow American sports in a big way. I'll say this: they will have a management acquisition list that they're constantly updating, just how they do business, the US model. Do you think right now they will literally have a list of people who are watching to replace him? And you reckon they will have, yeah? And you reckon, yeah.
Especially because of the Red Bull situation, they have to. Yeah. There's no way we've struck up this partnership with Red Bull just because it's a drink sponsor. There has to be something for Leeds, in the background. This kind of Red Bull model, they have to have the fingers you said, Matty, and all these. Klopp in there as well. We have to be tapping into that market. We have to be making deal of what's in around that Red Bull market. We've seen that there is some good players coming out. There's some not so good, but there is some good players in there that we could definitely tap into.
What about managers, Darren? What about a managers list? Yeah. That's what we're getting at, a management list.
Klopp.
Yeah.
Just in case, do you reckon they'll actually have a short list of managers?
They have to. We brought it up. Yeah, we brought it up about Daniel Farke about if the we still know it's a long way to go in the Championship season, but let's say Leeds United get promoted. We're in the Premier League now. What does that look like? For the 49ers, they've pumped so much money into this. We're talking about stadium expansions, X, Y, and Z. But if you look at it with Radrizzani, he'd one Italian man with his money behind him pumping into the club. The 49ers are this whole big entity behind them. You've got all the celebrities and all behind it as well. This has to do well for the 49ers. They can't afford not to get out of this division this season, and they can't afford to go to the Premier League and be a yo-yo club to be losing so much money with the money they pumped into it. So when they get to the Premier League, it's in their interest to stay in the Premier League to build their revenue. That's ultimately what they're here for. That's ultimately what Radrizzani was here for as well. And we talked about Daniel Farke, and we said anywhere from 5 to 10 games. If you, like what Sean said, if we don't win in them 5 to 10 games, I do think they'd be very trigger happy. I do think that he had a bit of a leash last season. He's on a bit of a tighter leash again. But when we go up to the Premier League, he's really, really on the leash, lads. And I don't think they'll give him much time at all. I do think like that. And notoriously, he's very slow starting off. We've seen it at Norwich. We've seen it last year with Leeds. We've seen it this year. He's very, very slow. He's not going to have that luxury in the Premier League, lads. 5 to 10 games if Leeds don't start well, he's gone. He's out the door. They'll have the bullet to the head, and that's my fear. But to answer your question, mate, they have to be looking at. They have to have managers lined up. Look, again, it all depends who's available at the time. We spoke a few weeks ago about Jose wanting to go to a mid to lower Premier League table, so he doesn't want to be managing the European competitions and stuff like that. Will he be available at the time? No, probably not. He probably is going to get picked up. It just depends at the time who's around there. But yeah, to answer your question, they have to. I'm sure every club did. You have to have a short list in the case that you are going to sack your manager.
And they don't always get it right, do they, Darren? They don't always get it right.
Nope.
That's it.
Just Lord. I love calling you Lord. I love that. I'm just going to call you Lord. Yeah, Lord. Have you got anything else you want to touch on? Obviously, I've not spoken to you before on here. Obviously, there's 5 of us on here, so it's quite hard to get a word in sometimes. But have you got what else you want to bring up or what else on your mind? Well,
there's not a lot, really. I'm still fairly comfortable for the season. I just don't see. Obviously, we're going to drop these 48 points no matter what. I just think they'll go up easy enough in there.
Do you think we'll win the league, Lord? Do you think we'll create a gap like a lot of people say?
I don't think we'll win it like Leicester did. We're not like it, but we'll win the league. I don't have much doubt about it,
Love that. I'll tell you what, I were really hoping we'd get some proper Farke outs on tonight, but
no chance.
Sean's a fake and everyone else is just loving it.
I've been a Leeds fan for 55 years, mate. I've seen much worse than...
Here's a question for you boys. Something that I want to put across the whole panel. Since we've got relegated from the Premier League in 2004, who's the best manager we've had over these 20 years?
After Bielsa.
Yeah. And Bielsa, 100%. We all say Bielsa, right?
He's good because he got us up, but then, if Farke gets us up, he's a better.
Who's, and then this is my next question, and who's the second?
Grayson.
Did you say Grayson?
Grayson. 100%.
You see, for me,
he was absolutely shafted by Bates. Shafted by Bates. He was.
Yeah, for me,
I think Dan Grayson. I think Farke. Look, Grayson done it in League One. He didn't do it in the Championship. Grayson didn't do it in the Championship.
Because he was shafted by Bates.
No.
Chalino thing anyway.
Redfern. Go on, Andy.
What about Hockaday?
For me, since we went down, it's been Bielsa, and if you're going to go by the good times that we had, for me, it'd probably be Old Levy.
O'Leary got lucky. I think I genuinely, I was just saying, O'Leary got lucky that he got the players that will get put in place on the way up.
I could have managed that team, to be fair, and I don't.
Unbelievable team. Look what he did. He's terrible at Villa, and then he buggered off then to.
He went to Abu Dhabi or something, didn't he? Or the boy or something like that. Yeah.
He was a terrible manager. He got so lucky.
I really enjoyed it under Sagmar. I remember we played Scum twice. I like Sagmar.
Right, lads. We've nearly been going an hour. So stick a like if you haven't liked it already, please, in the chat. We're going to wrap it up there, but I'm just going to go down to you all. A final thought. Right, go on, Danny. Give us a final thought. Put you on spot.
Bamford plays more games.
I'll see you later, Danny. Right, okay. Sean.
Lordy, Ori.
Come on, Sean.
Worried.
Yeah.
Lord, you got a final to say before we get off?
HMS Pistol League has nearly been built, mate.
Yes, mate. I love that. Darren, final thought?
Yeah, I'm still confident, lads. Look at what I said. Leicester lost 11 last year. We lost 10. So if you think we're going to lose another, say if we do the same as last season, we're going to lose another 7 games this year. Get another 90 points. Sees us out of this division. It's very, very hard, this division, lads. Yeah, I'm still confident that we go up to us today. Hurt, yeah, 100%. Are we going to be here again? Yeah, 100%. But we're more than capable to get out of this division. Just need to get the nail down on the away form. We'd be fine.
Well, lovely. Right, thanks for coming on, guys. Much appreciated.
What's your final thought, matey? We never got yours.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Come on, mate.
My final thought is, I'm gutted I missed the game, but after hearing all you lads, I'm fucking buzzing I missed the game.
Matty,
Yeah.
You actually owe a song from the final pint, so you can do it tonight.
Yeah.
You snuck off last night, mate. You didn't even remind us.
I was gonna sing "Simply the Best" last night. That ain't getting sang tonight, is it? I don't even know what to sing.
My way.
I think we'll leave it tonight. I'll do 2 on final.
We'll get you to sing into the final point tomorrow and then sing us out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you always 2 tomorrow. Yeah.
I'll you 2.
Yeah.
Right, guys. Thanks so much for coming on.
See you later.
Cheers for having us, mate.
Cheers, lads.
Cheers, lads. Cheers. Mind yourselves.
Cheers.